Over the last few weeks I've begun my preparation for the 2024 track and field summer season. It's shaping up to be a busy year, targeting both the European Champs and the Paris Olympics. We're now on week 8 and I'm looking to make some more solid progress towards achieving those Olympic standards. It's going to be a tough session. We've got 8 times 90 seconds on the bike. Just get straight into it. Let's go. Now this is really bad. I always say this, I'd rather just run. Yeah. Now I've always said it, this is worse. Like, you know when people think like, oh, it's a bit of a cop-out session? Or you know when people think, oh, I'm not feeling it today, and people will be like, oh,
I think when it's the sprint session, I believe, yes, it's easy.
Yeah, mentally, yeah. 3, 2, 1.
I've tried to remember the feet, my feet on the spins.
Yeah, I was looking at my feet.
There.
I was like, watching them, and not watching the clock, so I could see
the time correlation.
just watch the rhythm. Yeah. Oh, another session on the bike. That's me done for the day. Well, done for the bike for the day. Oh, wasted. Now it's about time I was lifting some decent numbers in the gym again, and we're kicking it off with some 100 kg bench press. Now it's taken me quite a few weeks to get back to this point, but after a few weeks of hard work I'm now back up to where I was before, so I reckon when we come to test our 1 rep maxes in December I won't be too far off my 135 best. So in contrast to the bench press, we've actually come down 5 kilos from last week on the power cleans. We've dropped the weight from 90 to 85 as I've been advised to be careful with the heavy compound movements whilst I'm letting my hamstring still recover a little bit. And it's a similar thing with the box squats too. We've dropped the weight from 170 to 140, just focusing on bar speed here and just taking a little bit of that extra stress off the hamstring. So we're rounding off the session with the usual 3 sets of the ab circuit, and quickly looking ahead, it seems like the week is going to be heavily focused on conditioning as I'm trying not to take any risks with my hamstring, but the sessions are still going to be really tough, so I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so it's Monday. I'm about to head into the physio right now. So I went for a scan late on last week. If you've not already seen this footage, I'll lay it over now so you can see when I went for the scan. So I've just been for an MRI scan on my hamstring. We had this scan booked in for about a week or 2, just to check everything over. I'm going to wait about 24 hours for the results, so we'll find out hopefully tomorrow if anything's flagged up. You have to sit in this massive machine for like 40 minutes. And it's so uncomfortable, but so basically the scan results came back over the weekend, and even though I'm pain free, it's showing up that I have a grade 1 strain in my hamstring, which is good and bad news at the same time. The bad news is that obviously I'm having to set myself back a little bit, which is pretty frustrating. So this week is going to be not a lot of running. I'm going to be doing bike sessions for the week. I'm going into the physio now to get it checked out, get a plan to go forward, and see what's going to happen over the next week or 2. I'm hoping that it won't really take too much longer to get back, because at the minute I actually feel fine. So yeah, I've got an hour in the physio now. I'll see if I can record a few bits whilst I'm in there. Hopefully I'll get some exercises given, a little bit of treatment, and then we'll take it from there. So it might be a bit of a slower week, but we'll see.
So which side is it again?
So it's right. Yeah, right.
Inner side of the hamstring. So tell me if I'm on anything that's sore.
Yes, ever so slightly in that region, yeah.
Okay, and then let's let it drop down again. So about here. Don't let me push down from here. Nice and strong. So just getting just a little bit of an idea in terms of strength. Can you lift the whole leg off the bed this time? Excellent. Okay. Any problems with that?
No, that's all good.
Just want to look at your hamstring length. It's a pretty good length there. Drop out. But what I would probably focus on as well with the foam rolling is iliotibial band and the outside of the hip there.
Yeah.
Particularly over the little muscle, tensor fascial artery, which is at the front of your hip joint. Yep, so you're literally just almost touching down with your toe here, just to stop you wobbling.
Yep.
And then nice and control, 3 seconds down, 1 second at the bottom, and then 3 seconds back up.
When I've had injuries before where you can't lift how you want to, I always come back and feel sluggish, whereas this, if I can come back and be strong, I feel like I'm flowing a lot better, so yeah.
You just think of the strengthening as building your foundations. If your foundations are spot on,
yeah,
then we then introduce more of the elastic stuff, the plyometric, build your power, and then obviously then it's the speed and the volume and the distance and the tempo running, etc. That comes.
Okay.
Build. Sounds good.
See how we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that.
Good man.
Anyway, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty good news actually. It's not as bad as what I was worrying about. Anyway, I think that's pretty good news. Might be a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know. Circuits tonight. We'll get into that, but maybe a couple more bike sessions this week. Be safe. Build it up. But it's all right. So let's get home, get some food, get this circuit training session done. Let's get it.
Power structure.
Here we are once again, bike session for the second time this week. It's Tuesday, we're back on the bike. I've probably already explained this earlier on in the video, but what we're going to do this week is steadily build up the running volume. So we're going to start with 2 bike sessions this week, 1 running session which is tempo, and then we're going to pick up another running session next week, and then bring in the speed session as the final thing. I don't even know if you can see me anymore, it's a bit pitch black in here, but should we stick the lights on? Yeah, probably should. Oh, right, let's get cracking. Yeah. So finally got the setup. Yeah. That's the main thing. The earlier you find it, ideally during the warm up, you're doing better. Right, let's roll. 3, 2, 1, go. Don't put back on yet. I'm absolutely dripping. Yeah, it was a mad session. It's quick though, yeah. Yeah, that was good, really good.
Near enough got done before the first run to get done for.
I reckon now we should probably go and have a stretch out.
Yeah.
Whilst we got the time, we'll go on to the back straight
Stretch.
and we'll do it. We'll have 20 minutes, have a proper stretch out, because this, it makes you tight, so. Yeah, 20-minute stretching and then that'll do us for the day. So in the meantime...
Henry, you fraud! Oh. You haven't run sub 22 yet, mate. No first group for you, man.
Whilst we're waiting for Johnny, he's forgot his water bottle. We'll record these. So, we're going to have a bit of a stretch out. So we're going to have 20 minutes. Oh, is this the camera straight? Foolish men. Right, so 20 minutes, a bit of active recovery, so we'll go for that now. We'll run through some stuff, let's go.
So one thing that I'm looking to work on massively is my mobility, so I'm making an effort this week to make sure that I do 20 minutes of mobility work after every session.
Start with here, and then we're going to go down, tilt, kick this leg out, and then get your hands out.
I feel like this is an area that specifically gets a lot of athletes unstuck. I think that it's an aspect of training that's quite easily overlooked, and I've been guilty of doing that myself too in the past, but this winter I'm paying extra attention to it.
You have to go a bit wider.
So today we're just doing a range of basic mobility work tied in with a little bit of core exercises as well and balance work.
So just see how you go with it. Even if you bend your leg a bit, so you start here,
We're rotating through all of the muscle groups, but for me personally, both my quads and my hip flexors are the tightest areas, so those areas are getting some extra focus.
3, 2, 1.
As a sprinter, I feel like it's so important to work on your flexibility, not only just for injury prevention, but also for power output. When you have good range, particularly around the knees and the hips, mainly the hamstrings and the glutes, as well as the front of the hip, which is my issue at the minute, you're able to utilise your levers more effectively and put more force down onto the track, so it's worth spending some time on.
Feel better after that, to be honest. These are the times when you've got to get on top of things like that, because especially when you have the time to do it, like when you're thinking like you're not running the main session, so what can you be doing extra to like just bridge that gap between where you want to be and bulletproof yourself from further issues. I think that's what I'm going to start doing now whilst I've got the time. Make sure I get nice and flexible, so when we get to Christmas time it's just going to add to my power. If I'm nice and flexible, it's going to help.
A few weeks ago I put out a poll on my Instagram and just asked people to send some questions over, so we'll have a look at some questions that you lot sent over. What is the hardest part about transitioning from under 20 or junior to senior? This one's a tough one. I feel like there's a lot of things that contribute to this. For me, I think the toughest thing was the massive jump in ability of the people around you. So as a 19-year-old, I managed to climb to the top of the rankings, so I was number 1 in the UK for junior athletes. That was in the 200, and the year after that you kind of realise that you're now running with everybody in the country. So when you go from being a junior and thinking you're really good, which you are, but then you're competing against people 4, 5, 6 years older than you the year after, and it takes a few years to adjust to that. That was quite tough, feeling like you've gone from feeling like a superstar to essentially just being another number in the game. The way I kind of coped with that was just focusing on my own numbers and not trying to rush things, because at the end of the day, I always looked at athletes that were older than me, and if I saw someone that was 3, 4 or 5 years older than me, I just thought, I can be on a similar trajectory, but I don't need to be where they are right now. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to transition. I think the main advice I can say from my personal experience, is just to remember why you started doing what you're doing, and accepting that athletics is a really long game, and a lot of the times it might take you 1, 2, in my case 3 years to even really transition from junior to senior, but your time will come eventually. You just have to make sure you're doing everything that you can do, control what you can control, and when you're ready, when the time's right, you will progress.
Right, once again we're back on the bike. What is it? Is it like
4 watts of 5, 20 seconds on, 1 minute off, minimum 350 watts.
That's another bike session done. Pretty pleased with that. Once again, my quads just cramp up a lot when I do that, but that was better than the other 2 sessions. Getting used to it now. I think I'm going to come back for the hills on Sunday. Sweet. That'll be my first like tempo session. Oh. Yeah. So I'm going to come back for hills on Sunday, I think, because it's only a slow session, and that's the one that I'll feel the best on.
When's Joe Ferguson Hot Yoga Male sessions coming out?
Literally right now. I'm about to do another one.
Yes.
We're about to do more yoga.
Part 2, guys, of Joe Ferguson Hot Yoga Male. On the yoga mat.
What? Is that me?
Say something.
Hi.
That's his back gone.
I am the coach.
Time and tone. There's definitely mud in that one. Man's got to put face next to that as well, Joe. Bro, that's a violation, Joe. There's mud in that one, Tom.
So here we are. We've got a gym session today. It's Friday. We're going in here. We've got a few different bits today. I'm going to be doing front squat again. You've seen me do that a few times. It's been good for my strength. Reverse lunge, bit of accessory work, so let's get into it. Front squat, 90 again. Let's go.
So we're back in the gym kicking it off with some front squat. It's the Friday session and I normally like to start off with a front squat as it's quite a big movement. I don't have any massive plyometric or power based movements today. Again, that's just because I'm looking after my hamstring this week, so we're toning that down. But when I do have a big power movement like clean or snatch, I like to do that first in the session whilst my power's at its highest. So we've got some reverse lunge today as well. This one rolls strength and endurance into one as the weight's pretty light, but after a few reps the fatigue really kicks in. Moving on to one you've probably seen me do in the last video. This is hamstring RDL, except now I'm doing it with some added weight. This is a really good exercise for anybody dealing with hamstring issues, as it allows you to put some eccentric load through the leg without putting you in a compromising position, and then adding the weights is just a simple progression. Then just as usual, we're wrapping off the session with my classic pull-ups and dips circuit. 10 pull-ups, 10 dips, 2-minute rest, and just rinse and repeat. It definitely helps to improve all of my other lifts. I feel like it's massively underrated, so drop me a comment below if you're a fan of it.
So there we have it, another week of training done. It's been a good week in a sense that I feel like a lot of progress has been made in different areas to what I'm used to. I actually feel really strong now, like gym wise and endurance wise. I feel really strong, so it's looking good. I think the word of the week is just patience at this point. I've come this far, so I just need to stick to the plan. Always have to stick to the plan, keep doing what I'm doing, and everything will pay off. I'm hoping within the next sort of 10 days I'll be back into a bit more normality, but I've been enjoying putting the work in. To be honest, I feel like the gains in the gym have just been massive. Like now I actually feel really strong. I feel like I'm getting close to my peak strength again. So we'll try and get into that shape again. We're almost there. So there's a lot of positives to be taken still. As long as I'm doing everything I can, getting stronger, making sure my power to weight's good, when I hit the track again, I'm confident that I'm going to be feeling good. So we'll wrap it up for now. It's another week done. Again, lots of positives to be taken, but we've got to keep our head down. The work doesn't stop. Heading into next week, more of the same, hopefully a little bit more intensity, but stick to the plan and we'll keep it rolling. So I'll catch you in the next one.